some speech. Look up in the sky. It's a bird, it's a plane. It's Superman. Or is that Iron Man? Which raises the question, who would you rather have protecting your city? With summer coming up in a few months, people tend to watch highly anticipated films. A couple months ago, people were speculating whether Captain America 3 would be Marvel's Civil War. DC wanted to stay relevant, so they released their movie lineup until the year 2020. To retaliate, Marvel also released their lineup, and they released a trailer for their movie Age of Ultron. This is great for people who watch movies because this gives us titles to look forward to. As a comic book fan, I am extremely excited to watch Marvel's Civil War and Doctor Strange, and I'm also excited to watch DC's Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, and Suicide Squad. But today, I'm going to talk to you about why Marvel is better than DC. Just a disclaimer, I'm not saying that DC is bad in any way, I'm just saying that Marvel is superior. First, I will talk about the cinematic world. Then I will talk about the comics, and lastly, I will talk about what would happen if these superheroes actually fought each other. So, which studio has a higher success rate? Marvel has proved that they are capable of releasing great films time and time again. Many of their films have been at the top of the box office, and they actually have the two highest opening gross or weekend gross with Avengers and Iron Man 3. According to BoxOfficeMojo.com, Marvel comic movies have made about $7 billion, while DC has made about $3.3 billion. I know what you're thinking. There have been more Marvel movies than DC, but if you take into account the movies from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which was Iron Man starting in 2008, and their last release being Guardians of the Galaxy in 2014, they still made about $2.9 billion. If you do the math, that's about 89% of DC Comics total, with Marvel Cinematic Universe having 10 films and DC having 25 films. Another point I would like to make is the trouble that DC has to start off their own cinematic universe. With their first movie, Man of Steel, it received mixed ratings. It received a 7.2 on IMDb and a 55% on Rotten Tomatoes. On the other hand, the Marvel Cinematic Universe first movie, Iron Man, received a 7.9 on IMDb and a 95% on Rotten Tomatoes. According to an article on webculture.com, Jack Foley writes, "When you think of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, what do you think of? Fun, right? The best movies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe are above our tremendously enjoyable experiences, and they don't waste too much time on they don't waste too much screen time on somber emotions and gloominess. This was the main problem with Man of Steel, which was that the tone was too dark. It had the occasional joke, but the overall movie was gritty and gloomy. So movies are great for showing things to the general audience, but what about avid comic book readers? Comic books have been around since the 1930s, with DC Comics being founded in 1934 and Marvel Comics in 1939. Superman's first appearance was in Action Comics issue number 1, while Marvel Comics featured the Human Torch and Namor. Both companies have grown a large fan base over the years. According to ComicHron.com, the two most selling comic books in 2014 were The Amazing Spider-Man issue number 1 and The Superior Spider-Man issue number 31, with the estimated sales were 532,586 and 108,998 units respectively. The next 8 in the top 10 were Batman, Batman Eternal, Justice League, Batman Eternal issue 2, The Hulk, Original Sin, Batman Eternal issues 3 and 4. I mean, not bad for DC, but if you combine the number of sales, Marvel sold about 814,645 units, while DC sold about 504,302 units. In 1996, both companies jointly published a limited series crossover titled DC vs. Marvel Comics. They had 6 preliminary battles where each side won 3 battles, And they also had 5 battles in which the outcomes were determined by the fans. And Marvel won 3 fights against DC's 2. Even though the series wasn't canon, this supports my argument that there are more Marvel fans. Now that we have reviewed the sales of the cinematic and comic books, let's get to the fun part. What would happen if these superheroes actually fought? I'll start off with Aquaman versus Namor. Namor would definitely win. I mean, what's Aquaman gonna do? Call Nemo on him? Nah, just kidding. All jokes aside though, Aquaman is pretty cool. He has super strength, speed, and healing. His body structure can withstand the pressure of the deep ocean, so he can withstand machine gun fire. Namor also has super strength, speed, and the ability to fly. He has thrown down with the Hulk and the Thing. But the real kicker is that he is in possession of the time gem. He was entrusted with this gem, which gives him total control over the past, present, and future. Namor can literally end the fight before it starts, so Namor would win this matchup. The next matchup I would like to talk about is Batman versus Iron Man. These two crime-fighting billionaires have genius-level intellect, high-tech equipment, weapons, armor, and gadgets. There is one thing that Batman can do, which is fly, and no, gliding is not the same thing. Batman is great at fighting, so he could probably go toe-to-toe with Iron Man. The fight will even be different if Iron Man drags Batman up into the sky because Batman can just grapple him back to safety. The deciding factor in this battle would be Batman's electro-pulse-fire rifle. Or electromagnetic pulse-fire rifle. With this EMP, he could disable any electronics, which would basically render Iron Man useless. So, where does Superman fit into this battle? You know, the Man of Steel who has super strength, speed, stamina, invulnerability, flight, freeze breath, heat vision, and a healing factor? I mean, surely he must win this fight single-handedly. Wrong. Superman has 2 fatal flaws. Kryptonite and the fact that he would never kill anybody. Kryptonite causes Superman to lose his powers, so as soon as they get it near him, he's done for. The real winner of this battle would be the Hulk. As soon as Superman is out of the picture, the Hulk would be free to do whatever he wants. And the Hulk benefits from the fact that he will kill people, because when he's mad, and he won't stop until the threat is neutralized. Other DC heroes don't stand a chance against his strength, his accelerated healing, resistance to mind control, and immortality. He would literally rip Batman's head off, and Wonder Woman wouldn't even stand a chance. With the battle ending in Marvel's favor, let's take a look at what we've discussed. Marvel is simply the better company. They're superior in the movie industry, the comic book industry, and have better superheroes. So when summer movies arrive and you're deciding what to watch, ask yourself, would I rather watch a movie where I can laugh and be entertained for 2 hours, or watch a long drawn-out film that takes itself too seriously? And by that, I'm talking about Man of Steel, which literally put my mom to sleep. So with that, I would like to conclude my presentation. Thank you for listening.